Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Dreadhead Ninja Bar Rodimus Black, and I want to welcome you back to yet another Rodimus Black Presents. And today we are going to be talking about Fans Project Function, or Sigma L, whichever it is. Either which way, it's their take on Mindwipe. And I just had to pick this figure up. I basically been looking at this, like my brother Cregan's had this figure for a while, and I just really enjoy looking at it. It always had like a really nice presence on the shelf, and I've been meaning to pick them up forever now, and I finally got around to doing it. Just in case you do end up being interested in this figure throughout the course of the video, I picked this one up off eBay for 40 bucks plus shipping. If you do want to pick one up, I've been looking at this for a while now, and they've all been going for probably $55 or less, and it's well worth the money. I mean, I liked it before I ever bought it. Like I said, my brother has it, but I decided to go ahead and pick one up for myself, and now we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So first things first that I want to talk about, let's get in here and talk about his accessories. There's not a whole lot of them to go over, so we'll just get down to it. He comes with two shotguns, which are sculpted very nicely, very well done. Little bit of paint here on the front of it, not chrome, but a little bit like gunmetal paint right there. Unfortunately, you can see a screw hole right there. And I transformed the figure once last night when I first got him in the mail. And I really don't understand why it has this piece right here, why this bends. I guess it's just to give you an additional option. And there's never anything wrong with additional options on a figure. So that's all good for me. But yeah, he does come with two of them. They are sculpted identically to the next. And as you probably saw in the beginning, he holds them both like a champ. So, you know, that's once he has it in his hand, that is not coming out of his hand, and it holds both on the same, both in it holds the same in both hands. I can't talk tonight. There are a couple different options that are available if you want to store the weapons on them. You'll notice on both wings he has ports right up front. They do plug in right there. Okay, and then we also have, I believe there were ports on the back of him. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, they're down here on the leg, but that'll make more sense once he's transformed into his alt mode. All right. So I mean, I definitely do dig this figure. I don't think this is an IDW figure, but he definitely looks like he belongs in that genre. So I mean, if you're an IDW collector or you're that hyper stylized collector like myself, this is something I would definitely recommend picking up. Even despite his age, it's definitely withstood the test of time, and he's still looking good today. So next thing I want to talk about is going to be the Headmaster. Let's pop that out. Easy peasy. So here's the Headmaster. As you can see, black plastic, purple plastic, that gunmetal type silver again, red on the eyes, translucent visor, nice little green paint, and more translucent green right there. And if you've seen my videos before, you already know I'm a sucker for any kind of translucent plastics. So let's go ahead and get them transformed. Very simple transformation. All you got to do first, pull the visor out a little bit. That way it has clearance. And then you can fold it right up, and ta-da, there we go. So because it is like a Headmaster or Titan Master, whichever one you want to call it, you know, it doesn't have a whole lot of posability, but the legs are separate, so you can get each leg to move independently. So you're going to get a high kick up to about right there. Back you don't get too much, but that's because of the head on the back end of the figure. No splits at all. And arms do completely rotate around for a full 360. One thing I was surprised about is that the head has no movement. Now if you notice on a lot of the Titans Returns figures, the heads do have movement, and that's actually what allows the head to be able to articulate. And these right here actually don't have any movement. This one right here has no movement whatsoever. The only articulation you get is the left and right, and that's done if you see right here, there's a circle, and that's what turns left and right to allow some head movement. So you're not going to get any up nor any down. Okay, let me go ahead and get this transformed and back in place. Hope y'all having a wonderful day, by the way, while you wait for me to transform this little guy. Okay, So here we go. And again, that just plugs right in right up top. So like I was saying, all it has is the swivel back and forth. So you can turn it to the left and right, but you're not going to get any up or down out of this figure. All right. So as far as articulation goes, the wings are on hinges. So they fold out to there, and they also go up to about right there. If I can, you can see that. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, and you can see that it goes up about that high, and they do fold in at a hinge here and a hinge there as well. Arm articulation, you're only going to get up to about right there, so you're not going to get a whole lot of up motion, but you do get a full 360 out of the arm. Get bicep swivel right here at the top for that twist. And then you also have a double hinged elbow, so you get all the way up there. And that is mainly for transformation purposes, but it also works for your posability as well. So it's all to the good. Same thing on the other side. Waist, you don't have any, I don't even think that back at this point anybody was doing ab crunch on their figures. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting any. But you do get a full 360 out of the waist. Hips. Because of these pieces right here, they do bump in. So that's about the best you're going to get for the sides. If not for that, the bumping, let's see. Nope, that's what it's going to be all the way around. So you get thigh rotation at the top of the thigh. Right below the hip joint. Right there. Oh, front and back. Yeah, you're going to get beyond your normal. So you got plenty of motion right there. So, but yeah, you got your hip rotation right there. Standard knee joint, going to get you right there. So not a whole lot, but you know, that's going to, I mean, for posability, that's all you're really ever going to need anyway. And then you also get an ankle rocker as well. So the foot moves side to side. If you can see that through my glove, let's try with the other hand. So that's going to move side to side, back and forth, just like that. And then he does have a heel spur back here, which definitely helps for stability, especially when you have a figure that has wings. You always need an extra heel spur just to make sure they don't tip backwards, because they always do tend to be quite back heavy. All right. So talking about paint and color, obviously we have a lot of purple plastic, a lot of black plastic, but I really do appreciate like all the green. There's some stickers on here. I believe the person I bought it from off eBay did apply repro labels to the figure. And normally I'm not the biggest fan of people having applied stickers for me, but this person did a pretty good job on it. So I'm definitely going to leave the stickers alone on this figure. But there's a ton of paint on here, which is something I'm actually surprised by, because a lot of companies, they don't add a whole lot of paint to their figures for whatever reason. But yeah, so you have like the green in here, you have silver down here, red on the inside, purple on top, more green. Again, the beautiful green translucent plastic on the legs. And then you also have some more green painted in on the sides right there. Back of it, I mean, there's really no backpack, nothing to really clean up in this mode. So, but it looks really good. You also have like these crosses. I think those are stickers. Yeah, that's a sticker. Okay, so I don't know if every one is going to come like that, but on this one, he does have like these crosses on the back, which look really good. I mean, it really does a lot to add like an extra dimension of, you know, just adds extra flair to the character in general. All right. Now, one piece of articulation I did forget is that the wings are on this joint right here, and this does serve for transformation purposes, where it basically just rotates back and forth. And then also has another hinge right there, just in case I missed that. All right, so that's it for the figure in this mode. Like I said, I really like them. Anything with wings, anything with translucent plastic, just makes a huge difference. I mean, it just adds presence when you stand them up like that. See what I mean? Just presence. You know, you're not going to miss that if you're like if you're looking in your room and you know, you're looking over your figures. I definitely feel like this is going to be a standout guy right here. They did a great job on Mindwipe. All right, so let's go ahead and get him transformed real quick. It's transformation. I only did it one time, but it's not very difficult, so I feel pretty comfortable in doing it again. So the first thing you want to do is just twist the arms backwards like so. You twist these up, And you kind of just want to wrap it around using that double hinge joint until the fingers touch the shoulders. Alright, so you want to do that on both sides. Okay, next thing you can do, this is actually the head of the figure right here in its rope and its alt mode. You can lift that up, exposing again even more paint apps on the inside, which is mind-blowing. Like I have a lot of third-party figures, and I don't know that any of them really have this much paint or this much level of detail to the paint. I mean, look inside there. That is super clean. I really hope that translates well, but that is really freaking clean. All right. So next thing, let's go ahead and crack the front of the legs open, and we can put that foot all the way up like so. Do the same on the other side. Flip the foot up. Then we're going to flip the back legs out. And if you do end up with this figure, that might be different on some people's. There is a little bit of a clearance issue right here when you're trying to pull the foot out. Every now and then it does get a little caught. But not a big deal. It's nothing you can't work through. Especially, like I said, you know, you're paying 40 bucks for the figure now. It's a pretty good deal. So I think you've turned it back that way. Yeah, I think so. Nah. Okay, I'm all backwards on this. Okay, there we go. There we go. So you just want to fold the legs up on both sides, like so. Flip that one in, like so. And then those just flip in, and you see right there in the middle, there's a little, there's a peg, and there's corresponding holes on the bottom. Just make sure you get those both clipped in. And also that does become a cockpit for the headmaster on the inside. We'll get into that here in a second once I'm done transforming it though. Forgive me, I'm trying to get better at doing this transformations on camera. This is still relatively new to me. Trying to speed through them like this and explain what I'm doing as I do it. Normally I just like to do it and treat it like a puzzle and play with them. But it's a little bit different when you're doing it for review's sake. And what I'm doing right now, there's also another peg hole right in here, if you can see that, under the shoulder. And there's a corresponding peg right there. Just going to pop that on in. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Cool. Then we could turn the wings up, like so. And then we got a chubby little rat, like I almost called him Rat Bat. We got a chubby little looking Mindwipe. Ears up. But no, that does. It looks really good. I really do like it. I love the speakers up front, because that was like the primary weapon of choice for the character. You know, they'd be able to use this hypnosis or be able to confuse Autobots. Like I said, on the back here, this canopy does open up like so, and you can stick your headmaster right in there if you do decide that you want to pose him in his bat mode, in his alt mode rather than in his robot mode. Personally, obviously, I'm going to have mine in robot mode. I think it looks a lot better. Yeah, just looks a lot better to me that way. But yeah, there you have it. There's Mindwipe in his bat mode. And then remember I was telling you that the guns, they do fit on the legs. This is where that would happen. You just plug these in like here, like so, and then boom. And I really like that. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you have storage for all the weapons and the headmaster in both modes. So that really works for me. I really do like that. So just give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode, and we'll go ahead and do a size comparison. Okay, and I'm back, and we got him all transformed back into his robot mode, looking good still. So one thing I did forget to mention, he does not have any finger articulation, but he does have wrist swivel. So there is that, and you do get a little up and down motion out of that as well. And even with this being a used figure, everything's still tight and feels really great. So even if you do buy this one aftermarket, then you're still going to be happy with it. You're going to like the way it looks. I guarantee it. Alright, so now it's time for a quick size comparison before we wrap this up. So what I got right here It's two figures. There we go. So I got Titans Returns Mindwipe as well. So we can put him in here. And that way, if you do have this figure, you can see about how much taller he is from the Titans Returns. And I mean, he looks so much better. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty much tempted to get rid of this one now, just because I do have him. I really don't need two of them, and it's such a far superior figure in pretty much every single way that I kind of feel like, yeah, whatever. All right. So also for size comparison, what I got here is MMC's Hot Rod. So if you are an MMC collector, or you have if you do have this figure, that way, you know, you get a little bit more of a size comparison. And frankly, I think they scale pretty well. I mean, considering that's Hot Rod and not Rodimus Prime, I think, you know, he would be a little bit smaller. So I think that's a really good size to go off of. All right, so in my final thoughts for this video, what else can I say? I mean, he looks great. I love the paint. I love the detail work on it. Beautiful sculpt work. Still has tight joints. I think had this figure been made today rather than in 2014, it would be done a lot better. But again, this is why I do like the stylized figures over that more G1 Toon accurate styling. Because when you get the stylized figures, they tend to maintain a really good look for a really long time, and you never really get bored of looking at them. Whereas when you have something like, even like this MMC Hot Rod, as dope as it is, they didn't put a lick of paint on them. I mean, you just basically have red plastic, yellow plastic, orange plastic, gray plastic, and there's zero paint on the figure whatsoever. I mean, maybe except for like in the eyes, but that's it. I don't really even count that. Whereas here with Fans Project, you have a ton of paint, still have really tight joints, still looks really good, still looks like it belongs to that, not the MMC, excuse me, still looks like it belongs to that IDW type of stylized look that I'm always looking for in my figures. So I can't think of a single reason not to recommend somebody pick this figure up, even with it being a few years older now. So if you're interested, I highly recommend it, and I hope this video will have helped you make a decision as to whether or not this is something you might want to buy in the future. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all. So as always, man, y'all stay safe out there, be good, and as always, peace.